Good morning from Vancouver. This is mostly for those who subscribe to my channel or to my pile of videos. I don't know if people dig over the internet to find stuff like that. Just my opinion. And I'm going to touch a topic regarding the older people who end up in the care homes and are disconnected from their families. And why is that? Usually I go a bit deeper, and I'm not always to the point. I'm not always correct. But this is my opinion, and you like it or not, you want to watch it or not, I'm posting it here. If I look at the older type of social configurations, like maybe East Indians, I'm talking people from India, some parts of China, I'm talking about Asia in general, you will see the old trends. Parents have kids, or they look after the kids. Kids grow up and start taking some of the parents' responsibilities and tasks. And slowly they reverse roles. The parents get older, they lose ability to look after themselves, and now the kids, who are now adults, they take over and they start looking after their parents. And generally, to make it economical, they live with the parents until the parents are gone. So that's kind of the old societies. And these kids, they take the obligations to feed the parents, clean the parents, take care of their nest, and they pass on this type of behavior, social behavior, as a norm to the next generation, to their kids, and everyone thinks that's the normal. Now, what happens in the industrialized countries? They call themselves not rich countries, but how they call it, the other ones, they call them the third world countries. It's like, you guys are poor, you guys don't know nothing, we are smart because we have technologies. I don't know if technologies and smarts always go hand in hand, but it's a mirage. And what happens with explosions of the new technologies is that people focus on the technologies instead of focusing on the human interaction, human connections, which for thousands and thousands of years dominated people's minds. Is how you use the social skills and the family and the group to live a better life and survive. Now the focus changes to the technology, because you don't really need survival means. It's people look at what's in it for me, where I'm getting the pleasure, how to make it easier, how to save resources. And if they see that living in a city make the survival easier, because you have some people around and you have some social services, you have system and technologies that help you to maintain your body, because also you need to maintain your body in order to survive. So if you have these tools and the medical system and people who can look after you, then you delegate this task of survival to other people and to society in the town, society around you. But like I said, the old ways, and less developed countries or developed technologically, people assign these jobs to others, and they use technology as their aid. Now, okay, so one truck got stuck on the highway. That's all right. The fuel truck. So it's nothing wrong with the new system, nothing wrong with the old system. The old system proved it works, but people need growth. So of course the world evolves, and with the evolvement comes new challenges, new systems, new trials. And let me get some coffee, because seems that my voice, not my voice, my brain need half second more for the words to come down. And this is not a download, it's not a download from the ether. Like many times I'm talking about something that's coming out. This is just obvious stuff that everyone knows about, but people are not willing to talk about because it's oh, I see a car full of snow. Where that car came from? Maybe from ski area. Maybe they stayed overnight. And if it doesn't bother them, I'll tell you why you would talk about a topic. You want to get other people involved in that subject. You want emotional support, you want material support, you want people get on your side. So otherwise people, even on entertaining stories, you want people to laugh with you, you want people to share those emotions with you, and you feel good. And sometimes you want to feel sad, you seek certain emotions, so you share what's in your head. And if this topic doesn't bother many, let's say if the current system of having the old generation put into the old folks homes, care homes and all that, if it doesn't bother people around, because people got used to the new normal, they think, okay, that's my dad, I'm going to get him out of the house, or depends, I want to change his care home, he can't fend himself, and like my parents, they need to go somewhere in a hospice, they are so frail and they are going to die, and all those things. So for most people, that's kind of the norm. They think, okay, everyone does that, and that's part of life. And so there is no need to share the story, there is no need to talk about, there is no need to change. And why is that? Because to me, I don't know if it's normal. Like I said, for most people, they don't see a problem. They know they are now older, their parents are very old, and everything works okay. And since they don't feel, they don't miss the parental love, they don't miss the old people, you know, they mind their own lives. The older people might find entertainment and ways to pass time into these old folks homes, like this one right here was not built long time ago, was maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago. And I assume the next one is the old one. They just expanded according to the needs, the extra needs, with the growing population. And maybe this one is another. Oh no, looks like some sort of a hospital facility. I saw some medical equipment inside, so I'm not aware what's there because it doesn't say anywhere, oh, this is a medical center. Like in other places where you see a big banner or a sign or something, you know, this is a clinic, but it doesn't say anything outside. So it could be part of the medical treatment associated with this residence. So, like I said, that's the way life goes. Generations, they keep adapting to the society, and the society set the norms automatically. Like society grows as a group, or some political leaders might push some changes, or some trends are coming, or some companies, there are companies who can change the social behavior. Like you know, they have a product, they want to sell it, and they promote things like with smoking, right? It changes total social behavior. Then vaping now, kids are vaping. That's a behavior, a social behavior that changed a generation. Wearing jeans, or you know, being like some sort of a cool actor or something, you know, it's those people make a huge impact, including into population health. And we don't know anything about, we speculate about the truth behind the coronavirus, COVID-19, but it is a social behavior change. And coming back to these old people, why people, like the adults who have these parents, why they think, you know what, I think it's better for us, because they think through their own pocket and their own point of view. They might say, I think it's better for my mom to go into old folks' home than being around. But I can tell if those adults would think, no, would be honest, and I say most of them, not everyone, and would say, you know what, I really, really love my mom. I don't want to miss her. She's cleaning up the house. She's making food for my kids. She is contributing, and she's not contributing only in a material way, like providing and helping out and doing some chores around the house, but providing emotional support, providing me with someone is calling me from Ontario. Let me see, they can leave me a voicemail. Helps me feel good. It's a good love. Tell stories to my kids. No, we have a loving bond, and I don't want to let that one go, because it makes me feel good every day. It makes me feel loved. I go to work and I have people who don't like me, and it's not my pleasant time of the day. But when I come home, my mom is there for me, and I get a hug, and I feel the love, right? So people, if they see it that way, they would make an effort to keep that old parent in the house. But what happens, because it doesn't happen that way. So people, when they receive love, they don't want to let it go. They don't want to give it away, because it's a very powerful emotion that does a lot of good things in our mind and our body. So why would you get out of your life a person who gives you love? It's like, you know what, I have a girlfriend, you know, she loves me, I love her, We have good relationship, good sex, and all that. Everything is good. And now, suddenly, I want to take my girlfriend and send her to New York to the university. And I know she might not come back. She might find some other dude. And but I'm thinking of her. I'm such a good person. I think of her. No, I tell you, most people think of themselves. And you see even in the movies, the girl want to go to study, and the boyfriend is upset, and he's having some tantrum, or he's doing something nasty. He just want to keep his girlfriend around because he looks at what's in it for him. What he is receiving from that relationship. He doesn't want to let that relationship dismantle or go. Same thing with the relationship with parents. But now come back. This is 16 minutes in the video. So now coming back to my main reason I am recording this one. I almost said wrote this one, but I write a lot. I write a lot, but not these thoughts, because it's easier for me to talk than writing. So you have this new industrialized country, or societies. You see, after 1920s or something, it was like it was a boom. It was an explosion of this type of economies around the world. Countries that kept adopting the industrialized style, and with that come the social behavior change. You have people moving from the small towns, from the country, leaving the farms behind, leaving the agricultural land behind, and moving to the city because, like I said, it appears like a mirage. It appears much easier to survive. So why you need to live with your family somewhere in a small village where you may see a doctor once every couple of months if the doctor shows up, or you have to drive your truck with your sick mom all the way to the city, to the hospital? So why would you live there where you don't have a cinema, you don't have, I don't know, an airport, you don't have a place of entertainment, you don't have a restaurant where someone else is cooking for you? Yeah, so it's very appealing to live in the city. Even myself, I used to live at the countryside, and I moved to the city because I tell you my little reason. I try to avoid military service or long military service, and of course I don't know if I was going to continue living in the countryside because it's not much for my talent. It's not much for me in the countryside, in the mining sector, in the agricultural sector. It's like people have their own individual farms, like family farms. So nobody would hire some guy, and my talent would be wasted working in a farm somewhere and cleaning after the cows. But myself, I was born for something else. And same with many other people who moved to the city. Other people grew up in the city. So anyway, new cities came up, grew, and new style, and more people got into industrial workforce, and with that they had to make a major change into their family configuration, into their lifestyle, and they left all the generations behind, parents, farm, and all that. and they started to look after themselves. They say, you know what, yeah, I miss my mom or something. Some returned, once they retired, returned back to the countryside. Some they set roots into the towns, into the big cities, and slowly part of the countryside people moved to the city, and within the city there were internal changes, like social behavior changes, that sometimes it was pushed by the political leaders, the local leaders, and all that. In this type of social growth, a new need emerges. You see, let's say the whole family moved from the farmland, they sold the farm, and they moved to the city, and now they were living together like the old days. And the old people grew older, got older, and there was a need for care, and now someone came up with this type of social places for older people, where older people are being sent at the older age. But what happens, because those older people, let's say after a few generations, when people kept working to survive in the city, because they had the mirage, the idea that, you know, I moved to the big city and I'll live a good life, a cool life, I'll change my life, I'll become rich, you know, whatever they saw on TV, or they heard, like people in Europe. Oh, I'm going to move to Canada. Canada is such a big country, it's like full of opportunities. Yeah, lots of people come in and they go back, or they stay here and they live broke. Same thing happened with these people who moved within America, moved from farm countryside to the big city. You know, they overheard that it's better to live in the city. So they ended up working as low-paid workers, being a different type of slaves, not being happy, and not like spending all their energy for their companies, for their employer, and with that energy comes love. So you reassign your passion, your mind focus, you reassign it to someone else. Because to provide love and to be loving as a parent or as a spouse or something, you need to have energy. If you run out of energy, you cannot provide love. So these parents, what they did, they neglected their kids. So they had kids, like in the past, maybe less in the number, but they neglected those kids, and they taught kids what the love is like. And they grew older, kids learned the way to love less than before, less than people at the countryside. And now they grew up and they passed that programming to their new generation, their kids. And kids love back if they receive love, and when they learn to love, they will love you back. So that's kind of the idea. The older generations, they were not able to provide love because they were too busy working for others. And now the new generation, the kids, don't know exactly what love is or how to love. And older generation, they run out of energy and they cannot provide love. And the younger ones, they think, oh yeah, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, she's not making food for me, she's not, okay, I'll put her or I'll put him on the old folks' house. So that's kind of the idea I got to work. I want to point the finger to this industrial development. I mean, it's not really bad, but it comes with some sort of downsides, and one of them is throwing older people into isolation, leaving them by themselves. Even they have some care, some medical care, but it's not the love that keeps them going and motivates them to live a good life, something that makes them feel good. So let you go. Talk to you later. Bye bye.